Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head, big, cold-blooded dummy. What we got going on here today, guys, is we got us another project on the Triumph Daytona 675. And there's Little Red Fox. Hey there, Little Red Fox. Okay, guys, guess what we're doing today? We are installing HealTech quick shifter. Okay, guys, so here is our HealTech quick shifter, and we've already done the installation, and I just wanted to kind of go over just in case somebody out there was going to install one of these onto a Daytona 675. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the main wire harness. So the main wire harness goes up in here, and there's 4 connectors. And of those connectors, there's 4 female and 4 male. So what you do is you take off the connector off of the coil, okay, over here. And then you start by plugging in the wire that has the red and white. That always goes on first, okay? So you unplug it, and then you plug in the HealTech, and then you plug the factory plug back into the other side of the HealTech. Okay, and then you do that for each pair. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the HealTech harness comes with a 4th plug. But since this is a triple, you don't use it. And in the instructions, it says that you can just plug those 2 together and make sure you keep them as a pair. And you can just plug them together and then just kind of tuck them out of the way. And I just got mine in here, and then I just put some wire zip ties on here to keep everything kind of secure so it's not flopping around. And then I ran the harness underneath this, and then I went around and then down around underneath this hose. And then I clipped it to another plug, and then I just followed it over. And then this is where I put the ground. There's a grounding strap. So I just put the ground on here, and then I followed it up. Okay, sorry about that. And then it goes up underneath this strap, and then over here into the quick shifter. And if you look underneath there, I also have a HealTech speedo healer. So I have two gadgets that kind of sit underneath this little area right here. And at a later date, I'm going to clean this up and zip tie and make this look a little bit more neat. But for now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, now for the sensor, let me show you. So the sensor on this particular bike, the sensor mounts onto the shifter. I guess this would be the shifter arm where it bolts onto the spline, the shaft. And it says specifically in the instructions, if the bike has a shift rod and shifting to a higher gear pushes or compresses the rod, then it's okay to use. But when you're shifting into a higher gear, if it pulls the rod, you cannot install it. They don't want you to install it on the actual rod. So on this particular bike, since shifting to a higher gear pulls it, I have to red. Red, that was a big dog, huh? Yeah, Daddy, that's a real big dog. Red, are you gonna rip that dog a new asshole? Yeah, Daddy, I'll kill that some bitch's boogers. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that interruption. Red, you're a good boy, huh? Come here, Red. Oh. Say, this is my neighborhood. Okay. Sorry, guys. We were interrupted over here. So, basically, when you're shifting to a higher gear, if the rod is pulling, you have to you cannot install the sensor on the shaft. You have to install it on here. So that's the way I understand this. Okay. So another thing, when you're installing this little sensor, and there's a little wire on there, you want to make sure that wire doesn't get hung up on anything, and you want to be able to make sure that when you shift it, you make sure that wire is not going to hit anything, and the sensor is not going to be impeded or anything. And you want to make sure there's a little bit of slack in the wire so that when you do shift, it has, it won't stretch and pull on the wire. Okay. So once you get that done, you run that wire up, and then it connects into your the brain. So that's where we're at, guys. Now it's time to put to button everything back up, put the gas tank back on it, and fire her up. So we'll check back in a little bit when that's all done. But we got Red Rocket, okay, and then over here we got Speed 4. And I just want to mention one thing, guys. The Speed 4, okay, so this also has a quick shifter, and I'm just learning how to basically use it and just how to, how much fun it is, and it totally changes the characteristic of the bike and how the bike, performs, and it's just, overall, it's just amazing. So anybody out there with any kind of a sport bike, even on an older bike, you can get these kits and you can install them real easy, and you can have tons of fun. But anyways, I have another I'll do another video on the Speed 4 coming up soon, because I'm starting to put together all the parts in order to convert this into a dual exhaust. So I got a whole nother header pipe, and I got some stainless steel exhaust tubing and some mandrel bent tubing, some bends, and I ordered another one of the I got another one of these brackets here, and I'm going to modify it and weld on a little tab so that I can bolt the... I wanted to keep my original one just in case the whole thing that I'm trying to do doesn't work out. I can always go back exactly how it was from the factory. And then one issue that I'm going to have is I'm going to have an issue with the kickstand. So I'm going to have to fabricate a little bracket that's going to pull the kickstand out slightly and forward slightly. So I'm going to experiment with making some little brackets and stuff. So I think I can get that to work. So anyways, we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. Hey, Red, are we going to check back in a little bit? Yeah, Daddy, check back in a little bit, dummy. Okay, all you little dummies out there. We got the project all buttoned up, and we got the bike fired up. Red, did we do a good job? Yeah, Daddy, you did a real good job. Okay, guys. So, the next step is to link the new HealTech, the brain, we have to link it to my to the app on my phone. And since I already have the app because of the Speed 4, it should be pretty easy. And then I just have to go through the setup wizard and get the parameters in the baseline mode, and then go from there. And if I need to do any tweaking, I can tweak it from there. So, all right, dummies. This is the head, big, cold-blooded dummy, signing out. Later, all you little gators out there. Yeah, Daddy, later, gators.